Hey yogis, and welcome to today's Vinyasa flow. Today we will be focusing on the hips. Yes, this is an area where we hold a lot of tension, and probably because we spend too much time seated. So this is an all-level class. All you're going to do is your mat. So when you're ready, join me and let's get started. Hey yogis, as a yoga instructor, I clearly need effective, durable and comfortable yoga gear. And I have found that the Manduka brand gives me exactly that. I use every day the yoga mat and the bolster for my Vinyasa and Yin classes. Thanks to my special code Crystal Wellness Yoga, you can benefit for 15% off all your purchases online, or simply use the link in the description below. Thank you. Namaste. Hey yogis, welcome to Crystal Wellness Yoga. I am Crystal. So to start this class, we're going to come on our back. So keep the knees bent and gently roll onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest. And then hold onto your knees with both hands, just sway from side to side. Gently massaging your lower back and your hips. And then open the knees on either side of the chest. Bring the feet on top of your knees to come into your happy baby. Bring the arms between your legs. Hold on to the outside edges of your feet with both hands. And then gently pull the knees towards the mat. So with each in-breath, you're going to gently pull the knees a little bit closer to the mat. Let's take 2 more long deep breaths. And then release your feet. And then bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. Thread your arms between your legs and grab hold of your left thigh or your left shin. Interlace the fingers and then gently pull your left knee towards the chest. So you should feel a nice deep stretch in your right glute and also your right IT band, in your right hip. Just breathe into that area. Let's take 1 more long deep breath. And then release, and we're going to go straight onto the other side. So place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Thread your arms between your legs. Grab hold of your right thigh or your right shin. Interlace the fingers and then gently pull the right knee towards the chest. Now you should feel a nice stretch in your left glute, your left IT band, in the area of the left hip, and then just breathe into that area. Pull the right knee as close to your chest as you can. Let's take 1 more long deep breath. And now release the hands. Place the hands behind your knee. Rock back and forth a few times. And then come into a seated position. You're going to bring the sole of the feet together. Let the knees drop to the side into your butterfly pose. So you can bring the feet as close or as far as you want. Just gauge how deep you want to take this pose. Hold on to the big toes with index finger and middle finger of each hand. So if you can, on your in-breath, extend the spine up, and as you breathe out, you're going to pull onto the big toes and bring your chest down and forward, but keeping a nice straight spine. And it's okay if you don't go very far. On each in-breath, extend the spine, and then pull, come down, and again, breathe in, extend the spine, and then pull again. See if you can bring the chest a little bit closer to the feet. Remember, the aim is not to touch the feet, really is to extend the spine and open the hips in this pose. Let's take one more long deep breath. And then on your next in-breath, bring the spine back up. We're going to come straight into tabletop. So shoulders above the wrist, hips above the knees. And then bring the hips over to the right. Move the chest forward, so bring the hips toward the middle of the mat. And then bring the hips to the left. And then backwards. So making nice big circle. So we're going to make 3 in this direction. And now we're going to do the same in the other direction. So bring the hips to the left, forward, to the right, and back. 2 more. And once you finish, come back through center. Step the right foot forward to come into your low lunge. Slide the left knee back, lift the chest up. So you can stay on the fingertips. Or if you want, you can lift the arms toward the ceiling to take it a little bit deeper. Make sure the front knee is on top of your ankle. Push the hips forward. You should feel a nice deep stretch in front of the left hip. Take one more long deep breath. Release the hands on the mat. Come back into your tabletop. Now you're going to bring the knees, the right knee toward the chest, towards your nose. And then place the right foot over to the left. And then bring the left knee behind the right knee. Open both feet to the side, walk the hands back towards you to come into your shoelace pose. So the right knee should be stacked on top of the left knee. Make sure both sit bones are in contact with the mat, so wiggle your bottom. Move the left foot out of the way if you need to. If this is not accessible for you, just keep the right knee up, place the right foot over to the left, flat on the mat with the toes in line with the knee. So if you can stack the knees, take a nice deep breath in, extend the spine as you breathe out, walk the hands in front of you, come into a gentle forward fold. You can round the spine, let the head drops towards the mat, and then breathe. Let's take one more long deep breath. And then come back on your hands, walk the hands back towards you. You're going to use the hands to push yourself forward to come back into your tabletop. You can uncross the legs. This time move the hips from side to side. Bring the hips back through center. Step the left foot forward, slide the right knee back. Lift the chest up, stay either on your fingertips or lift the arms up to take it a little bit further. Make sure the front knee is on top of your ankle and enjoy the nice stretch in front of the right hip this time. You may notice a difference between one side and the other, and that's perfectly normal. We all have a stronger side, so one side is also more tense than the other one. Let's take one more long deep breath. Place the hands on the mat, and this time you're gonna come back into tabletop. And now you lift the left knee towards the nose, Bring the nose towards your left knee. And then bring the left foot over to the right. Bring the right knee behind the left knee. Walk the hands back towards you to come again into shoelace pose, but this time you should have the left knee on top of the right knee. Move the right foot out of the way if you need to. Wiggle your bottom, making sure both sit bones are in contact with the mat. If again this position is not possible for you on this side, keep the left knee bent, left foot on the mat in line with the knee. And either stay just upright, or if you can, breathe in, extend the spine toward the ceiling, and then walk the hands forward, coming into a passive forward fold, so you can round the spine. You can rest your shin on top of your knee. Breathe into your hips. I know it is quite challenging. Breathe where you're feeling the most sensations. Let's take one more long deep breath. And I'm pushing the hands, walk the hands back towards you to lift the chest up. You're going to use the hands to push yourself forward to come back into tabletop. Walk the hands forward, tuck the toes under, lift the sit bones into your downward dog. And then bring the feet together, big toes touching, lift the right leg up. Bend the right knee and let the right foot drop to the left. The right knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing with the hands, keep pushing the left heel towards the mat. So we're opening again the right hip in this position. Nice. Bring the right knee back in line. Roll forward, bring the shoulders above the wrist, and then place the right knee behind the right wrist. Slide the left knee back to come into your pigeon pose. Make sure the hips are level, that the left leg is in line with the hips. Look forward. And if you want, you can lower the chest down, rest your forehead on top of your forearms, if you want to. Breathe into the right hip. Take one more long deep breath. On your next in-breath, lift the head, come back on your hands. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee off the mat. Extend the right leg back to come into plank. You can either push into downward dog straight away or do a little vinyasa. And then we meet back in downward dog. Bring the feet together again, big toes touching, lift the left leg up, bend the left knee, drop the left foot to the right. Keep pushing with both hands, keep pushing the right heel towards the mat. The left knee is pointing towards the ceiling. Nice job. Bring the left knee back in line, roll forward, shoulders above the wrist. Place the left knee behind the left wrist. Slide the right leg back. Coming into pigeon, make sure the hips are leveled. The right leg is in line with the right hip. Stay on your hands, or if you want to, take it deeper by folding forward and resting your forehead on top of your forearms. Then breathe into the left hip. Let them be really heavy. Relax into the pose. Take one more long deep breath. On your next in-breath, lift the head up. Come back on your hands. If you were on your forearms, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, extend the left leg back to come into plank. Vinyasa, if you want to. Always come back straight into downward dog. And we all meet in downward dog. Nice. And now step to the front of your mat. Open the feet wider than your hips, with the toes pointing towards the corner of the room. Come into your yogi squat, so lower the sit bones between the feet. Bring the hands into prayer in front of your heart, and then gently move from side to side. Now you're going to gently release the sit bone on the mat. Coming back into a seated position. Bring the right shin parallel with the front of your mat. I'm facing the long side, but I'm sure you're facing the front of your mat. And then bring the left shin on top of the right shin to come into log pose. So this is, we call it log because it looks like one log on top of the other. And you can either stay with a nice upright spine. If you want, you can breathe in, extend the spine, bring the hands in front of you, and then walk the hands away from you to come into a forward fold. So again, don't worry if you can't go very far. Also, if you can't stack the shin, you can bring them parallel to each other. That will have the same effect, I'm sure. You will feel it in your hips. Take one more long deep breath. On your next in-breath, push with the hands to lift the chest up. And then we're going to swap side. So this time bring the left shin parallel with the front of your mat. And then bring the right shin on top of the left. Again, they're stacked up like logs. Place the hands in front of you. Breathe in, extend the spine. As you breathe out, walk the hands away from you. Keep the nice straight spine, chest open. And then breathe into your hips. This is really a really good one for the hips. I'm sure we all feel it. Let's see if we can go a little bit further down, but don't force anything, please. Listen to your body. One more long deep breath. And then push with the hands again, the mat, to lift the chest up. Nice job. Now you're going to bring the right shin parallel with the long side of your mat. And the left shin parallel with the front of your mat. So we're creating a 90-degree angle. So the right knee is in line with your right hip, the left knee is in line with the left hip. Place the hands behind. Let yourself fall behind to come into your deer pose, or 90-90, because we have two 90-degree angles. And try to push the right hip towards the mat. Let's take one more long deep breath. Nice job. And we're going to go straight onto the other side. So push the hands, lift the chest up, and then turn the legs in the other direction. So now the right shin is facing probably the back of your mat or the front, depending on which side you started. And the other one is facing the long side of your mat. The knees are in line with the hips. Push the left hip towards the mat, coming into your deer pose, or 90-90. Breathe. Lovely. Nice job. Push the hands, lift the chest up, and then let's come into our final pose, Shavasana. So lie down on your back and extend the legs. Let the feet drop to the side. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath, palm of the hands facing up. Close your eyes. And then just let your body integrate this practice. Notice the new sensations in your hips. They should feel a little bit looser. They should feel more comfortable. So stay in this pose for as long as you need. And once you feel you're ready to come out, just roll onto the right side. Use your hands as a pillow. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, use your left arm to push yourself back up into a seated position of your choice. Bring the hands in Namaste in front of your heart. Thank yourself for looking after your hips today. I hope you're feeling a little bit more comfortable in your own body. Please leave me your comments below this video. Remember to like it and to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again very soon. Namaste.